I've got probably the most fascinating boat we've ever had on Aquaholic. The words fit for purpose spring to mind. I'm with Tony Castro, who designed it, and it's a sailing expedition vessel. It's this one behind. It's 77 feet long. It's built of aluminium and it's designed for high latitude exploration. So it's for film crews or scientists or explorers who want to really get into some of the furthest reaches of the world. It's an incredible machine, and Tony's very kindly offered to show us around it and explain a little bit about it. It's actually been designed for Skip Novak, who you may have heard of, and we're hopefully going to meet him as well, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about what he's going to do with it. So Tony, it's brilliant to meet you, and thank you so much for inviting me up.
Thank you.
And perhaps we can have a wander on board.
Yeah, sure.
And you can show me around, because I think this is going to be absolutely fascinating for everybody who sees it. I think the first thing to mention is the fact that there's virtually no paint on the outside of the boat at all, and I understand that's deliberate.
Yeah. Well, being aluminium, fortunately, with this material, we don't need to paint it, and it makes it, you know, no maintenance.
Yeah.
Which is very important for a boat like this. And it's very robust. It just slightly oxidizes, and it stays like this forever.
Brilliant. And you don't have to worry about scratching the paint ever, do you?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Let's take a walk right down to the back so we can see the whole thing, the stern I should say, to get the terminology right.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple of tenders with the boat. There's one here and there's another one actually up on the bow up there, and they deflate, I understand, when the boat's on long passages and get put away.
And these are, you know, used to take people closer to the ice, and when they're going literally ashore, if you like.
Yeah.
And but on the long passages, of course, because they are dangerous, there's a lot of wind down there. You know, they get deflated and they store it inside. So the boat has got to have a lot of capacity to carry spares, stores, you know, and of course food for the 14 people which are usually on board.
Amazing, amazing. It does look just, I mean, it looks bulletproof. It looks absolutely rock solid, which of course is what it needs to be, isn't it?
Yeah. I must say, the first thing I thought when we saw it, it does look like a beast.
Yes.
I mean, it's incredible. It just looks, as you said, fit for purpose.
Yeah, totally.
Is, you know, everything, every detail has a reason here.
Yeah.
You know, whether it is based on the experience that Skip Novak already has from his previous boats, or, you know, and essentially based on what he learned needs to be done for a boat to go there to those faraway places in the world in a safe way.
Absolutely.
And of course take people which are not necessarily experienced sailors, you know, scientists, you know, university people, television crews, film crews.
Yeah.
You know, you have to look after them, make sure no accidents happen. You know, when you are down there, you know, you cannot really call the Coast Guard to come and help you, because there's nobody there to help you. This
is a completely custom built, isn't it? I mean, this is designed from scratch for him to his specification.
Absolutely.
For that purpose.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Every detail is done on purpose, and for a boat that's going to do what this one is going to do, there's lots of, you know, interesting things which most boats don't have. We don't need to have.
No, of course. Let's go and have a look on board, and perhaps you can talk me through a few of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very impressive thing to see even from the outside. It just looks amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's have a, oh, after you, of course.
As you can see, as with the hull, there is no paint.
Right.
You know, we do have a little bit of vinyl stick on the cabin, just for decoration, let's say.
Yes.
But essentially, you know, the aluminium stays like this forever. It's very practical. And no maintenance required. It's really, really good.
Yeah. And right at the back here, this looks like communications on the top.
Yeah. So there's all the communications here, and also when we are not making the big ocean crossings, we can carry one of the tenders here on those davits, which is more practical, so we don't have to inflate them and deflate them, you know, all the time.
Yep.
And I mean, there's so many things, I don't even know where to start. You know? There's so many different things about this boat compared with a lot of the ones I do or other people buy them.
Yeah, because you do a lot of sort of super yachts and performance boats and that kind of thing, I think, don't you?
And also motor boats and power boats and so on. So this is, to be honest, this is a bit like a design holiday
Right.
from the insane demand for complication and innovation and all the extremes of the other yachting world out there. This is a bit like a holiday for me.
Because this is the complete opposite, really, isn't it? You want to keep everything as simple as possible on a boat like this.
This is really the essence of an explorer boat in every way. You know, right down to the point that the simplicity has a reason. You know, we don't want things to go wrong. You know, it has to be bulletproof. You know, we don't want to have any help out there, and so everything's got a reason. And it's like designing what we need, but no more.
Yes.
There's no frills. It's just a nice cozy boat, but anything which is not essential, it's not here.
Fantastic.
It's very different.
Yeah,
very different.
I can imagine.
Very different.
And I see she's got twin masts.
She's got twin masts. Now, part of the reason for the twin masts is that we wanted to keep the size of the sails relatively small in order to be able to use manual winches.
Right.
So no electrics, no hydraulics to go wrong.
Right. Right.
That's one thing that usually does cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So in here, all the winches are manual. So of course the loads, we have to manage the loads. So the sails need to be a little bit smaller. So distributing the sail area between the two masts allows us each sail to be a little bit smaller than if you had a great big single mast. That's the reason for those.
That makes a lot of sense.
They are carbon fiber. The masts are carbon fiber, because obviously on the sailboat stability it's very important. You know, in fact, there's an old saying who says that stability is like money. You never have enough of it.
Fantastic.
So, carbon masts very useful to improve the stability and the sailing behavior of the boat. So so we did opt for that. But you know, the rest of the rig and so on is tough stuff. You know, is strong, durable, and it cannot suffer from chafe. It has to last and be obviously safe.
Perfect. Should we have a wander around the decks first of all?
Yeah. So here we have the cockpit.
Yep.
And we have a single helm station. Where he can basically see a little bit everywhere. Underneath here we have the life rafts in case we ever need to. A little cockpit table, and as you see here, a lot of the controls are around here, so they are, you know, within easy reach, grouped together, if you like, because of course we only have 4 crew that usually maneuver the boat, so that it's easier if everything is close together.
Of course.
And we have this very nice area here, which is you know, covered area, where, you know, when the weather is really rough, you know, you can sit. You know, this little corner, you know, it's really the most comfortable place at sea. So it's great to be here.
You're out of the wind there, aren't you?
Out of the wind, away from the spray, and it's really nice here. And also, if anybody is not feeling too well, you can sit here and recover. And, yeah, very nice.
Understood. Shall we have a wander up onto the foredeck?
Yeah.
Obviously a lot of non-slip about the place, very sensibly.
Yes, and this particular material is much more non-slip than paint.
Right.
That you would normally have. So.
Is this Treadmaster?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old-fashioned.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's never been bettered, really, has it?
Not really. And it's quite durable as well.
Yeah. So these big drums here?
So these big drums basically have mooring ropes, because quite often in these remote areas, you know, you don't necessarily want to anchor on the seabed.
Right.
So sometimes you can tie yourself up to a rock on the shore, or to a tree, or something like that. And if we can avoid anchoring on the seabed, we avoid it.
Yeah.
In order not to disturb what's going on out there, especially if you go to beautiful places like Antarctica and so on. You want to go there, but you want to leave it as pristine as it was when you arrived.
Absolutely.
So that's another area of this boat. You know, we have things like quite a strict waste management. We have to keep all the waste when we are down there. Nothing is thrown out. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not even water.
Really?
Is thrown out.
Wow.
So everything we use is kept on the ship until we leave into, you know, more northern European international waters, let's say.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are mooring ropes. We have two on the back as well, same as these two. And we do have again another manual pedestal winch, which makes it operating the winch a little bit easier, like we sometimes have on the racing boats.
Yes.
And that is useful if we are hoisting the sails, which is quite a long ropes. So it means you can do it faster.
And this is slab reefing, it looks like to me.
Yeah, this is a good old-fashioned, simple slab reefing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then up at the front here, I see we've got 3 roller furling.
Yes, we have three different sails.
Right.
And they are permanently set. So we don't handle any sails up and down.
Right.
Normally, we just don't do it.
Yeah.
Especially when we have people on board which are guests and charterers. You know, they, as I said earlier, they may not be sailors. So in principle, the 3 sails are always furled, and we use them according to the wind strength. Obviously, the bigger one in the front, and then the smaller one in the back.
Okay.
We do have, having said that all hoisted, we do have storm jibs, which are like a 4th alternative.
Yes.
When it gets like really crazy, and that sail, of course, we need to put it up, but it's quite a small sail to handle, and the crew can easily manage that themselves.
Yes.
So there's no problem.
Absolutely. Fantastic. And this hatch here, I think we're going to see more of this when we go inside the boat in a moment, but that's basically down to...
That's called the forepeak.
Right.
On where we carry an awful lot of the spares and stores, and including the 2 tenders when they are deflated and for the long passages.
Right.
And
Gotcha.
also, of course, we have a huge anchor locker and a very substantial anchoring system, as you can see there.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, people may well ask, you know, why is the anchor on the side, not sticking out in the front like most boats? And the reason is that one of the things that this boat sometimes does is go ice climbing.
Oh, right.
So what you need to do is to arrive with the boat to the mountain.
Yep.
With a bow.
Okay, so you can step off.
So you step off from the boat and you start climbing.
Wow.
All this ice climbing straight off the boat. So the anchor does not stick out in front, which is a bit unusual.
Yes.
For
no, that makes total sense
for the majority of boats.
Definitely. And I'm seeing all these little fellas down here about the place.
Yeah, those are prisms, and they give light down below.
Okay.
They help give light. Obviously, openings on the hull can be dangerous, so we try to avoid them.
Yep.
So these help to bring some light to the interior of the boat.
Perfect. Fantastic. Okay. Shall we wander back down this side and then perhaps have a look inside? It's a spectacular looking machine from here though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And we have bicycles as well.
Of course. So this, of course, is navigation gear.
Yeah, this
here
is wind data and navigation over here. Yeah, and this is some of the halyards for the mizzen mast, so we can operate them from here.
Right.
And we have a weathertight door, obviously, between the cockpit and the interior.
Of course.
Make sure that the water doesn't get in.
Yes. I'm guessing this is the kind of boat where I don't need to take my shoes off.
Yes.
Okay, so this is...
So this is what's called a pilot house.
Okay.
And here we have the chart table, some engine controls.
Yep.
A little seating area up here, and some duplication of the instruments. Some of the navigation computers and stuff down below here. All the switchboards and so on. And also, as you've seen, everything here has all the emergency equipment. So
right.
Everybody has a number that's on board.
Okay.
So they are fitted. So
yep.
Before the voyage starts, so they know the life jacket fits them.
Yep.
So they know which is their life jacket. And then we have a cupboard back here with all the rest of the emergency equipment. All the kind of shut off engine and fuel and fire and so on. It's all handy here if ever it was needed, of course.
Yes.
All the fire alarms and so on. So this is, and of course it's nice because you can see everything outside. So sometimes if it's really rough, you can be here quite comfortably and of course quite warm.
Yes.
Here to be quite warm.
I can imagine this is a popular spot on passage.
Yeah. So underneath the pilot house, you see we have a full beam engine space.
Right.
For all the machinery. Just below here.
Yep.
And then behind it we have a living area, a saloon and galley.
Okay.
And then forward we have a sleeping accommodation.
Brilliant.
Which we'll see in a minute.
Lovely. Okay. Perfect. Shall we head on down?
Yeah.
And then...
you want to go first?
Sure. Thank you very much. Are we okay to look in the cabins here?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just not to be absolutely certain. There we go. Okay, so you've got basically a double bed here and then a single there. So you could use this as two singles or...
Yes, or sometimes even we can divide the lower bed into two as well.
Okay.
If need be, but usually not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then you've got the hatch up above as well for plenty of light into here.
Yeah, where we can, of course, we do have as much light as possible.
Yes.
And also it's nice to be able to open and have ventilation, natural ventilation.
Of course.
The boat does not have air conditioning.
Right.
I guess in Antarctica or the Arctic, you don't really need it.
Not so much, just open a window.
but we have a super efficient heating system.
Okay.
Which is, it looks a little bit like your house.
Yep.
Which it is. But of course, that is very important to keep, 18, 19 degrees, 21 down below.
Absolutely.
To make it comfortable.
And the one opposite here is that?
They're the same, so it's sister cabins.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. And I notice on these there's a door into here, which I think is through to the heads, but we'll see that up here in a moment if I come on through.
Yeah.
And I think you said there were two heads on this boat?
Yeah, two. The two same size.
Right.
And these two can be accessed from the two aft cabins, which are a little bit bigger than the forward cabins, if you like.
So you had a VIP guest, that's probably where they would go.
Well, it's also a function of the shape of the boat, and obviously at the back you have a bit more space. So naturally these end up always being a little bit more spacious than the ones further back. But it's not really geared up as an owner's.
No, of course.
It's really geared up to take 10 guests and 4 crew.
Yeah.
That's basically how the boat is set up to do.
Yeah, it's all about function, isn't it?
Yeah. But we do have a good shower. We got good hot water.
Yeah.
Good heating.
Yeah.
And that's quite important to have a good quality of life on board.
Absolutely.
And of course there is a chef. One of the crew is a chef. In fact, he even wrote a book about cooking.
Right.
So it's important people get fed nicely. They enjoy the food.
Yes.
And so on. So
yeah.
That's quite important to have you're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be a pain. It's not supposed to be hard to go to the Antarctica.
Yes.
That's not the purpose.
Yeah.
But so it's nice to still have a few creature comforts.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So two more cabins, the same again.
Oh, okay.
Always the same each side.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a similar sort of arrangement, just a little bit narrower, isn't it?
Just a tiny bit narrower.
And the storage for these is that's clipped back, I think, isn't it? Is it a magnetic or?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are just.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Storage in there and down there.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And that's mirrored on the other side.
Yeah, that's mirror on the other side.
Superb.
So here we have the mast support.
Okay.
Obviously, unfortunately, we have to take care of that.
Yes, quite important.
And two slightly smaller cabins forward.
Okay.
But still comfortable. I mean,
of course. Yeah. 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 No, they're decent sized cabins, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the same over on this side. Again,
you know,
matching.
you notice, for example, in here, you have each berth has its own little fan.
Right.
See, on the bulkhead there. See?
Ah, yes,
So
I do.
each person, which sometimes it's nice to have a bit of air blowing through your face when you're at sea.
Yes.
So that's kind of nice. And then, so this is the accommodation that we just see.
Okay.
And then forward here.
This looks like a pretty substantial door
No,
here.
this is a major door.
Right.
We obviously have several compartments.
Yep.
Watertight compartments. And this is of course a fully watertight door.
Okay.
And also we have to fulfill what's known as the damage stability rules. And that means that if any one compartment gets flooded, the boat still has to float and you can still sail home.
Yes.
Right. So provided the doors are shut, obviously.
Of course. Yes.
So it's what's called one compartment flooding.
Right.
So that's why you see such a big door.
Yeah.
But of course, towards the front, there's another one.
Right.
Right. Because obviously, when it gets to here, it is quite important that you're more likely to hit something here than further out there.
Of course.
Right? So
yeah,
we have a slightly closer together. Here we have an area where it's basically a workshop.
Okay.
And you have all the necessary tools that that you can think of, and everything kind of and underneath the floor everywhere we have a lot of spares.
Right.
So everything which either might need regular maintenance or might go wrong, some vital part, we carry it.
Yeah.
So there's several tons of spares that we carry to make sure that if you are in the middle of the South Atlantic, we don't need to ask for help. We can fix anything ourselves.
Yeah, we can't pop round to the local chandler, can you?
We can't pop around or ask for help.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the forward end.
Yep.
Of the forepeak.
Mm-hmm.
Again, storage place.
Right.
For all the other things that don't fit anywhere else.
Uh huh.
So a myriad of things. We have all these drums that normally we give to each of the guests.
Yeah.
Where they can keep, there's a lot of stuff missing from here. Normally there's a whole bunch of skis, for example.
Oh, right, of course.
A whole range of skis that live underneath these platforms.
Yep.
So skiing equipment, filming equipment. The filming equipment for a crew could easily be, 2,000 kilos.
Wow.
With gyros and God knows what.
Yes.
So, we have to have space where these things can be lashed together and carried safely. And this is more or less the area that's dedicated. A spare anchor in case ever we need it.
Okay.
Which is unlikely, but we tend to have a backup for a backup. If
Yes.
you know what I mean.
Totally, and I can understand why as well.
For a backup.
And we're starting to see the structure of the actual inside of the ship here as well, aren't we?
Yeah. And here, because it's slightly cool and there's no heating here,
Yep.
we carry all the vegetables here.
Ah.
So these are all the vegetable racks, right?
Yep.
And the vegetables, they last, forever here.
Right.
No problem at all. Fresh vegetables. They last. They do well here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. It's incredible. And so if we head to the back of the boat, then we're going to find the living area, as it were.
Yeah. We're going to find the living area on the other side of the pilot house. want to go first?
Oh, I'll follow you, that's fine.
So,
okay.
Good morning.
Hi there. Hi.
So this is Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth.
He's the skipper of the boat,
Ah, fantastic.
and Nikos, who comes from my office,
Uh-huh.
did some of the work to design the boat. And so what you can see here is basically the living area.
Right, it's actually surprisingly spacious in here, isn't it?
Yes.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Well, when you get to harbor, you could easily have 20 people eating here, you know.
Of course.
Space for meetings, and we have like a little media station here where people can work on their videos and you know, all the filming they've done and so on, or type emails or write articles or whatever. So there's like a little special little area for them to do some work during the trip if they need to. Obviously, a substantial galley.
Yes. Because you're feeding a lot of people every day, aren't you? And
Yeah.
and again, it's not like you can say, well, everyone's going to go ashore tonight to eat. It's here or nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and of course, in the food is kind of stored everywhere, you know, underneath the seats, everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And this is engineering then further forward.
And then, of course, you've got the engine space, which is underneath the pilot house, as I explained.
Okay.
It'd be nice if you take a little look down there yourself.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
Give you a feel for it. So we have,
I'm gonna leave in a second.
Oh, sure, no problem.
you know, we're always looking
10
after things.
seconds, I'm out.
Okay, no worries.
And you can have it. Can you go down? Really?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, so we have a twin engine installation,
Okay.
150 horsepower each.
Right.
Big generator in the middle there
Yep.
for some of the electrical needs.
Uh-huh.
Back there in the center, you have a small tank, which is what we call a day tank.
Right.
This is where we put the fuel that's going to be used typically during the day, if you like.
Yes.
It's also a tank quite high, as you can see, because if all else fails, fuel can go down through gravity.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if all of the pumps we've got, which is several,
Right.
were to fail,
Yep.
we can still use Mother Nature to get us home.
Perfect.
Again, it's all part of the DNA and the principle of designing a boat for this purpose, that self-sufficiency and also backup for a backup.
Yeah. Absolutely.
like.
Absolutely. And how much fuel does she hold?
8,000 liters,
Right.
which is a considerable amount.
Yes.
A lot of it we can make our own water, so it's not so critical from the water capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, fuel we do need fuel.
Yeah.
And again, we try to sail all the time.
Right.
But because we go long distances, we carry fuel just in case.
Yes.
Just in case.
Absolutely. So what sort of range would that give you? Yeah, any idea? 8,000 litres?
Good question. I don't know off the top of my head.
Don't worry. That's fine.
You could easily motor across the Atlantic.
Really? Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that is some serious range, isn't it? That's very impressive. And in fact, you've got full standing headroom in here. It's a really workable area, isn't it?
Well, that is incredibly important.
Yep.
Because of maintenance.
Yes. Yes, of course.
The engine room on a boat like this must not be a place where you cannot go in.
Right.
So you have to be able to come in here and regularly do what you need to do and check.
Yeah.
We even have some peculiarities on this boat where some of the systems, you have to come in here to switch them on and off.
Right.
And the reason for that is to force people to come in here.
Ah, okay.
And by forcing people to come in here regularly during the day, you're much more likely to notice anything that's not right.
Yeah.
So we go even to that extent in order to prevent, or to try to make sure that you don't see anything getting loose or beginning to potentially, cause a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's quite interesting. So there's very little automation here.
Yeah.
Very little automation.
And these engines, I'm guessing they're mechanical, they're not electronically controlled, and cable controls to the throttles and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, you're quite right, sir.
Yeah.
Which are incredibly difficult to find.
Yes, yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And this on the back here, this is fuel manifolds, is it, or bilge pumps?
Yeah, and well, you know, I think this is a water purifier.
Ah, okay.
Drinking water purifier.
Oh, so that's water.
In fact,
water manifolds.
we even have heating in the engine room.
Right.
So, for example, if we need to work here, and of course the engines are not running, they're not producing heat.
Yeah.
But if anybody wants to work here, you know, when you are minus God knows what in the corners of the world, then we have some heating here, so it becomes comfortable.
Yeah.
To actually work inside here, because otherwise it gets pretty cold.
Yeah. Fantastic. That is amazing. Thank you so much. That's absolutely brilliant. Ah, hi there.
Hello there.
So there we go. That's been absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much, Tony. It's been brilliant. It's been a real education to see this. I've never been anything like it before, so it's absolutely amazing. Let me know what you think of that. We're also going to have a chat with Skip Novak about what he uses this boat for, so look out for that video coming soon as well. And let us know what you think of this one in the comments. It's certainly something very, very different for Aquaholic, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing it. We'll catch you again soon. Take care.